Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mr. GLOAT podcast, ladies and gentlemen. As today we take a look at the world of professional boxing in the female division. Ladies and gentlemen, the female division has been on fire lately, ladies and gentlemen. As of right now, we already have world champions straight from autumn weight to minimum weight, light flyweight, lightweight, super weight, super featherweight, super bantamweight, super flyweight, super welterweight, welterweight, middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, and cruiserweight. Forget about that division and the bridgeweight. Doesn't care. And the heavyweight. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have other couple interesting. Damn, there's gonna be a lot of interesting informations here, and it's gonna keep getting interesting. Damn, that's a lot of everything I'm looking at my computer right now as we're speaking. That's a lot of interesting information. Crazy. But anyway, guys, interesting or not, it's not going to be interesting if I keep saying this exact word all the time. So let's get down to business. So, in history, guys, I've already talked about the men's of division boxing right now. And even though I'm already planning on pushing ourselves forward right now, ladies and gentlemen, and even though I only have like 3 topics to talk about, I will point this out. Now, first of all, guys, let's just get to the men's heavyweight division of boxing. Now, as of right now, guys, we've been having the top 50 professional boxers in BoxRec, and we've been having some interesting competition. A lot of upsets, a lot of turnarounds, and surprisingly, some interesting competitors that we don't really expect to be here for long. And for Deontay Wilder at 39 years old, ranked number 32 as we speak. That's pretty shocking that he's still here as we speak. And even though he's number 6 in the USA in BoxRec, but number 32 in the world, I don't even know what he's planning on doing. Some people said that he wants to be in the bridgerweight to fight for WBC title. They believe that he should get another chance, but at this moment, everything that happened to Deontay Wilder and should I talk about his trainer, Malik Scott? At this moment, guys, Malik Scott, guys, Deontay Wilder is out of the bushes, but not in a good way. Even if he comes out of it, like for what happened against him and Joey Zhang is dumb enough already. There's nothing to be said there. He has nothing for it what it takes. And guys, here's the thing about Malik Scott. Guys, Malik Scott has been in so much controversy. Ever since his round 6 TKO loss against Derek Chisora happened 2013, and then a year later, he takes on a nobody, only to fight March 2 months later against Deontay Wilder, the person that he would train years later, when Deontay Wilder knocked him out in the first round by KO in March of 2014, and then Deontay fought against a guy named Jason Gavern in August, and then he fought against Berman Stavern for the WBC title in January 2015. But around this time, Malik Scott, he became nothing but a bum. Yes, his 2 bigger wins, like Alex Lepay in 2014 and Tony Thompson in 2015, were his good wins, but yet again, they were already past their prime. And then he lost against Luis Ortiz, which was known for him taking several attempt dives when he fell to the ground 5 or 9 times in a 12-round fight. All he was doing was taking on his jogging shoots, going clockwise, counterclockwise, blocking this or that, talking to referee Jean-Robert Lane that day in Monte Carlo, because this was in was it Poland? I think it was Monte Carlo was in Poland. No, Monaco. Monaco. That's where Monte Carlo is. Sorry, the red and white flag sometimes confuses me because the red and white is also Polish, but Monaco also has the same color. But yeah, in Monaco that year in November 2016, with Malik Scott doing his running shoes and him also telling to the referee that he was rabbit punched and at the time, but you look back at it, guys, I wish some fans can understand the stupidity of Malik Scott, of how stupid he was and how boring that 12-round fight was and how disappointing Luis Ortiz picked up that win. And then, well, of course, Malik Scott never boxed again, and he retired for good after that lame fight. And after that, Tyson Fury defeats him, and Deontay fires Mark Breland because he threw the towel in because he wanted to protect Deontay Wilder from not dying. But hey, can you blame him? Like, guys, in 2019, four boxers, two of them in the United States, died in similar fashions in the ring days apart of each other. Like, if you viewers look up information about boxers that died in the ring in public square, you viewers can tell that even though us fans don't really care about fatalities, but if you're a trainer or a manager managing a fighter that you care about, you're not going to let them stay in the ring and die in the ring. Like, Deontay Wilder was the one that fought. He lost against Tyson Fury a full year and a half later, defeats Robert Helenius, which was the only win for Malik Scott there, loses against Joseph Parker, and then 6 months later in 2024, in June the 1st, Zhilei Zhang gets a fifth round TKO and knocks out Wilder down. And before you know it, Malik Scott enters the ring and congratulates Zhang while Deontay's still in the canvas. It's so embarrassing that Deontay Wilder is the biggest idiot in God's green earth. For reasons why he took this trail means why should we let him continue after firing Mark Breland? And besides, even it's not also Mark Breland's fault for being involved with this. Even Deontay Wilder's other trainer at the time that he was with at the time, his name was, I think it was Jay Diaz. I think it was Jay Diaz. Because that guy also at the time, someone stated around the time in February 2020, which was their second rematch for Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 2, they stated that because Deontay Wilder weighed an assumption of 212 pounds in the first fight with him and Fury in December 2018, they thought it was a good idea for him to take up some weight. Yes, he was 223 pounds when he took on Dominic Breazeale and then lost a few more pounds at 219 against Luis Ortiz. But they decided to give him up to 231 pounds. They decided to let him gain more weight in that second fight with Fury. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Why would you put yourself in that situation? Even the 40-pound costume they gave to him that night might have not been that good either. Even if they are telling the truth, that's still a stupid idea. It was their fault that they let Deontay Wilder made the downfall of Deontay Wilder because his trainers and managers were the ones at fault for ruining Deontay Wilder's career. And Malik Scott was the one that finished it. And now people are saying that they want to have Deontay Wilder taking on Alexander Usyk because in 2017, 2018, the only three heavyweights people were talking about were Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and AJ. Alexander Usyk defeated those two British dudes, but the only one that he hasn't was Deontay Wilder. And even though in 2021 we have had some critics and information stated that Deontay Wilder and Alexander Usyk didn't like each other, and people were building up that if Deontay Wilder defeats Fury in the third fight in October of 2021, which, spoiler alerts, he didn't, then that means they would have a match against Deontay Wilder versus Usyk. Well, that failed. And it's already a big failure because at this moment, is there going to be money to be made if that's the case? The thing is, Deontay Wilder couldn't handle Joseph Parker and his movements because Joseph Parker found the strategy. Deontay Wilder doesn't come to a fight to win rounds. He wins by knockout. He doesn't care how many punches he throws, even if his opponent threw that amount of punches. He just wants a knockout. He barely won his two fights against Luis Ortiz, and both of those two fights in Luis Ortiz was winning the fight. Even though in the first match, the judges actually gave Deontay Wilder a 1 point after 9 rounds when he knocked him out in round 10. But I found the judging scorecard somewhat controversial there. And then the second fight, he was still winning by a good margin of points. So you can tell that Deontay Wilder can't handle this. I just don't see no money in it to be made for Deontay Wilder versus Alexander Usyk. It just doesn't make sense. And by the way, guys, what even makes this a little bit crazy is that now we have Daniel Dubois. As said before, Daniel Dubois is going to fight against Joseph Parker on February the 22nd in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for his IBF title. This show will be involved as Saudi Arabia, where the main event will be Artur Beterbiev defending his light heavyweight undisputed title against Dimitri Bivol. And we also have other fights like Carlos Adams versus Hamza Shiraz for the WBC middleweight title, and Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield for the WBC World Lightweight title, and and of course Joey Zhang versus Agit Kabayel for the WBC Interim World Heavyweight title, which I wish it was actually a WBC World Heavyweight, because at this moment, guys, I thought, because I knew this fight was going to happen, I thought that maybe Alexander Usyk was going to just strip all the belts and just retire for good. Because at this moment, if that's the case, if guys, if we wait one more month until, let's just say, February the 19th, 2025, because I'm recording this on January the 19th as we're speaking, if we wait one full month and Alexander Usyk states that he's gonna strip all his titles, does that mean the WBC interim title is gonna be stripped away? So they're gonna fight for the WBC belt? I want to see a WBC World Heavyweight title, not a WBC interim World Heavyweight title against Zhang versus Caballel. Like, guys, Joey Zhang might be past his prime. He might not be the best fighter, but does he deserve a title shot? Yeah. And does Agit Caballel deserve a title shot? Yeah. The thing is, why do we have to have so much of these problems? Because, like, Joseph Parker, Daniel Dubois are fighting for the IBF title, but all Daniel cares about is he wants a rematch with Usyk, the guy that was known for giving him a low blow, but the referee gave him a chance, and Daniel Dubois never capitalized on the other 4 rounds with Usyk, so he just let Usyk beat the crap out of him, and the fight ended with only Usyk doing nothing but just throwing one jab. Boom, like that. Down goes Dubois. That was it. And now they want a rematch. It's like these British boxers can't take a chance. It's ridiculous. And having Dubois win a fight in a controversial of him headbutting the, oh my gosh, like headbutting the Croatian fighter of Filip Hrgovic, the guy that was winning the fight after 6 rounds, but the referee decided to call it off because Daniel Dubois was so good at throwing, dodging and moving his head back and forth near the ropes, headbutting Filip Hrgovic a bunch of times, and the referee just says, call the fight, and the fight ended by doctor's cornerman, and I was like, oh great, the fight's gonna come to a technical decision. No, because they're British. British fighters get over more than Croatian fighters, and they just destroyed Filip Hrgovic. And 2 weeks later, or a week, I think, is when friggin' Alexander Usyk strips the IBF belt. It's so ridiculous that the title was on the line for an interim belt, and that's what happens. Boxing is just so dumb. It's so bad. All I can say, guys, is for all information, we do have other fights with Michael Hunter, and he already has his own fight in February the 22nd, also in Las Vegas. We don't know what fighter he's going to fight against. He's going to fight by promoter by name Stephen Reed, which I haven't heard of before, so new promoter, I think. So, yeah, and every other boxer from Otto Wallin, he's already going to be taking on Derek Chisora on February the 8th in Manchester. So good luck if Otto Wallin gets another chance to fight big. I wish him best of luck against Derek Chisora. He has 13 losses with 35 wins, so good luck with that. Like, all I can say is this is just the most ridiculous thing. Yeah. And also, guys, Jared Anderson, the guy who lost against Martin Bacall, well, he's going to take on the Nobody fighter in Madison Square Garden on February the 14th. Which that pay-per-view fight is going to be involved with Dennis Berinchyk taking on Keyshawn Davis for the WBO World Lightweight title. So good luck with that. And most importantly, guys, Joe Joyce. Well, Joe Joyce. We don't know what he's going to fight on March the 1st. We just heard there's another fight he's going to be involved in, but yeah. I really don't know what to say. It's ridiculous. But anyway, guys, let's get down to business, guys. So that's the first topic I'm already done talking about right now today, guys. So let's get on with our second topic. Now, guys, the second topic is this. Now, guys, I already talked about the history of Danielle Perkins versus Clarissa Shields. But I might as well have to talk about it one more time, even though I already did my 3-part episode of the Road to the Undisputed Women's Heavyweight Championship. And I will say, though, there's some information I completely forgot about. And the information I forgot about is that even though the championships have been hard to find because, like I said before, guys, the WBC and the IBF are the two belts that heavyweight female fighters have fought against. And I'm happy that the WBO and the WBA heavyweight titles are going to be involved in the heavyweight division for female boxing. So I'm happy for that because even if we don't get a lot of female fighters in the future in heavyweight, we can still have maybe one or two females that can have a chance to fight for a free title depending on how bad their record is. And they can get some recognition in the future and have another star that's actually more bigger than them to have a chance to fight for big. And we can get more females, more bodies in the division because the least females that are in boxing are there. And guys, when looking up on BoxRec right now, the heavyweight division for female boxing, we have 18, and these are the 18 names of boxing. So in BoxRec, and if you guys are looking at this right now on January the 19th, this is what we have. We have 18 females, and only two of them are Americans that are number one and number two. So Corsa is number one, Danielle Perkins is number two, and when you look at that, it's like, okay, not bad. And then number three, we have a woman from Colombia named Min, uh, Minelis Blanco from Colombia. And she's a 23-year-old young female, even though she weighs over 200 pounds in all of her fights. So that's going to play an interesting hard factor to see. And all of her first fight ended in round two, and her other 5 fights out of 6 fights ended in the first round. So yeah, that's going to be interesting if we ever see that against Corsa Shields. Wow. And then number 4, we have a Mexican fighter named Giovanna Gonzalez. She's 6'3" and all we can say is we don't know much about her other than she lost against some random nobody fighters except one named Jessica Camaro, the woman that's known for beating up Hyun Mi Choi in April the 27th, 2024 by that split decision win that she defeated Hyun Mi Choi, making her the defector, Korean defector girl, and how she's now a bum fighter, a nobody. And to that very day, it still pisses me off just seeing that horrible fight. So that is one fight I'm known for Giovanni Gonzalez, as she lost against this woman that defeated the Korean girl, and now all super featherweight females are out of the boxing division because they're bad, and Alicia Baumgartner can't stop getting no contests after her Define Pursoon fight that they did last month ago. And dude, the super featherweight, let's face the facts, not one son of a bee female got over. It's ridiculous. It's so bad. And you won't know what's even more bad about women's boxing in the heavyweights? Number 5 in BoxRec, ranked number 5, is from New Zealand named Trish Vaca. And she's 38 years old, and she only has 1 win, 8 losses, and 2 draws. And that 1 win was against a 3-0 fighter named Natalia Jenkinson, which was undefeated 3-0, but she just lost against a Sakura Hagiwara woman. Crazy. But Trish Vaca has lost against great fighters like Lana Daniels, Giovanna Perez, and mostly Rosanna Cox, a woman in 2023 that I have given credit to be another great fighter, and Desley Robinson, the IBF middleweight champion. She lost against her in May last year ago. So yeah. Number 6 is a woman named Jenna Fabian. She has 2 professional fights. Her first fight was a no contest, and the other one was a draw. Ranked number 7, also from New Zealand. Man, 3 New Zealands in one. Sequita Hemingway, 4 wins and 6 losses, and this woman's 43 years old and 5'11". She's weighed a good amount of 185 to sometimes 200 pounds in her career. And her losses have been taken on fighters from just from her country. And it's crazy because that's all we get. We get barely some fighters fighting from other countries. They're just fighting from their own country. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and look at this. Number 8 is a woman from Hungary named Timia Nagy, 3-3. Sheesh. And another Colombian woman that's rated number 9 in the heavyweights in BoxRec named Celia Rosa Sierra. She has a record of 9 wins and 7 losses, and she's 44 years old from Colombia. And her losses are against fighters that are pretty damn good. Just like the woman named Blanca, yes, Blanco, that's number 3. Shadicia Green, the new, the new WBO World Super Middleweight Champion last month ago, obviously, or 2 months ago. And yeah, mostly her other defeats are against like Michaela Lauren, another fighter I have heard of before, was a great fighter at the time from Sweden. Good job. But that's about it. And then we also have Paula Estar Herrera, rated number 10, also from Colombia. She has a record of 14 wins, 10 losses, and 2 draws. And that's it. That's the only competition in the division. So what about the last 8 from 11 to 18? Well, rated number 11 is a woman named Maria Hunt, and she's 43 years old, also from New Zealand. And her time in boxing is just nothing. She lost her 2 fights against Sequito Hemingway. That's about it. A Mexican woman named Leila Michelle Martinez. She only has 1 professional fight, and that is a win. 24 years old from Mexico, and she took on a debut fighter as well in May the 18th. So, and that debut fighter is none other than also heavyweight as well, named Navarro. Caballero Navarro, rated number 16 at heavyweight, and she only has 1 fight, and it was only that professional loss. And of course, another woman from Fiji named Anasi Natarova, and she's 18 years old, and her one and only professional fight was a draw. Yeah, that's it. We have another woman rated number 14 named Sandra Lopez Gomez, 3-1. And her only loss was against Giovanni Gonzalez. So, interesting enough there. Interesting. And, of course, Cheyenne Wanga, 1-1 in her record. And her fights were just nothing. She had 1 fight in 2016 and 1 2024. That's about it. And of course, the last 2 fighters are Mexican, and the last one is Nigerian, and they only have 1 loss as well in their career. So, yeah, that's about it for heavyweights. There's not a lot of competition at heavyweights, which gets me to my mind is that if Clarissa Shields gets this fight underway, and even if Daniel Perkins wins the fight, I do believe that when this undisputed heavyweight title is on the line, and even if these titles get vacant in the future, at least they'll be active, because they've been inactive for over decades now. So I'm happy that we finally got these titles on the line, and even if they get vacant, the odds of any other female fighter in the heavyweight that might not have a lot of competition, but depending if they're rated in the rankings, could bring some good success here. And that's what I'm hoping for to happen. So if you put them on the line, I believe that we can have a chance to put everything just like that. We just have to make sure that when we turn this thing around clockwise, because you have to understand that we can match them together just like that. So if this fight goes underway, and even if Clarissa Shields wins this fight, which I do believe, don't get me wrong, it is possible. But that's only if it does happen. So I think I really, really want to see if there's more to it than meets the eye, because it plays the fact that you're right there. You are right there at the right time as we speak. And I hope you can understand what I'm saying here is that this can be a real opportunity for enough people out there to make you wonder, this is a fight. But here's the thing. I don't believe that there might not be a lot of money in it to be made, because at this moment, guys, here's the thing I didn't know. Now, Daniel Perkins was trying to offer fights against Vanessa LePage and Lana Daniels and other fighters at the time, and I heard reports that mostly for Clarissa Shields heard about, and other people stated that those fighters didn't want to fight Daniel Perkins. And when you look at it from a perspective, I see that to be random. Because guys, this woman named Christiana Fahey, the fight that I talked about that took place in July the 27th in Detroit, the same venue where Clarissa Shields defeated Vanessa LePage for the WBC title and the WBO light heavyweight title and the WBF heavyweight title, was actually, they didn't want to fight Daniel Perkins. I didn't know if it was because that there was no money to be made because she was never a star and it just seemed like a boring fight. So they decided to pick Clarissa Shields because they can make more money out of that even if they lose. I don't know if that's the case, but yet again, it was still a big problem. But guys, here's the thing I will give credit to Daniel Perkins. Three things. She has the massive heart, a big heart to make her take those punches. And that Christiana Fahey fight last July was the fight. Because even when Christiana was putting out every single punching that she got on Daniela, Daniela was still having that massive heart to go 6 rounds with her. Should she have enough to go 10 rounds if it was possible? The longest fight Daniel has ever done was going 8 rounds by decision of domination against Monica Harrison in their rematch in March of 2021 for the WBC Silver Heavyweight title. So it's possible that Daniela can handle it. The thing is, could she handle a 10-round fight against a skilled fighter that's 5'8", and she can handle it like no other before? And guys, it is crazy because you look at it today and I see something that's really different. Now, guys, I do see this to be an interesting touch of understanding that it's almost like watching a fighter putting themselves like in a huge disparity here because it really takes me off to a different turning point here because you have Daniel Perkins, 6 foot tall against 5'8" Clarissa Shields. Not bad. But when you look at closer and closer and you look at Clarissa Shields, she's a 68 reach advantage, which is not bad considering Danielle has a 72-inch reach advantage. But still, Daniela is southpaw, but sadly she's 42 years old. Clarissa is 29 years old, orthodox, so you're going to have 2 different perspectives of fighting there. That's interesting to look at. The thing is, Danielle doesn't have that head movement. Yes, she might not have that much of power to knock out her opponents, which she would have done. But all in all, guys, I think it's probably for the best that we want to see more of that when time comes. So I do see this being a real dominant fight. But if in case, it might be a completely dominated 10-round fight, depending on how smart Clarissa is to win every round. So I do want to see if that will be the case. Be honest. All right, guys. You know what, guys? I'm going to take a little bit of a break. So I got this at Walmart, ladies and gentlemen. I got a new iced coffee drink. The last time I drank Twix. I drank Snickers. Here's another one by iced coffee by Victor Allen's. The Victor Allen's iced coffee Twix. It's going to be interesting. There we go. It's going to be interesting. Oh yeah, that tastes better. Oh man, yeah, that has a lot more flavor than Snickers there. Smells like Twix. Oh yeah. Yeah, that sure takes the spot out. Wow. How much ingredients do you put into this stuff? 220 calories, total fats 3. Yeah. Interesting. Protein, 5 grams of protein. That's good. Sodium. Man, 3 so dang. Wait, ingredients. Brewed coffee, water, coffee, skim milk, sugar cream, potassium, phosphate, cocoa, processed with alkali. Um, Pestin sodium citrate, sea salt, natural and artificial flavors, contains milk. Where's the Twix? So how do you de-add the Twix? And like it doesn't say anything about Twix, so how do you put the ingredients in there? Is it like how do people even make powdered flavor for Twix? Because I don't. Huh. Doesn't matter. Still tastes like it. Not bad. I'll drink the rest of it later. Anyway. All right, guys. Here's the last topic before we come to an end. Guys, this is all I want to say. I've already. So, guys, here's the last topic I want to talk about, and that is the world titles of female boxing. We already have a huge case of throwing everything to the wolves. Now, guys, speaking about Carissa Shields and the world heavyweight titles, they're all on the line. And I'm sure that the ring title and the lineal weight title are also going to be on the line that day for her and Daniel Perkins. And, guys, here's another thing I really want Carissa Shields to do. Because I think Carissa Shields can make history by doing this either way. Now, guys, if Carissa Shields could go down just a little bit of weight, depending if she's 175 pounds or over, but if she really wants to do this, I wouldn't mind if she wants to. I really want Carissa Shields to try to put in an interesting work here to the light heavyweight title. Now, guys, the light heavyweight division has brought in a lot of problems here, in my opinion, and most importantly, that only 3 of the belts are titles. Now, Lonnie Daniels, as said before, she retired her IBF World Heavyweight title and went down to 168 and a half pounds, barely over 168 to be in the heavyweight or the light heavyweight, because if you're at the super middleweight division at 160 and a quarter pounds to 168, that means you're super middleweight. But if you're at 168 and a quarter to 175 pounds, then that means you're in the light heavyweight, which is still confusing because, like I said before, Vanessa LePage and Carissa Shields were at 175 under. They were at 174 pounds together when they were fighting together. So they were in light heavyweight, not heavyweight. So that still confuses me. But yeah, Lonnie Daniels already had her good wins for her IBF World Light Heavyweight title last year ago in December, and fought against September against a hype job contender from Nigeria that's now a bum fighter that's now lost 2 fights already. And she's fighting again April this year, so good luck with Lonnie. So that's from New Zealand. She's the IBF champion. And the IBF Light Heavyweight champion has been in enough stuff already for her 2 title fights. So she already has the IBF on the line, and those are the only 2 titles that the IBF has ever been involved in, and it was all Lonnie Daniels. The WBA title, as been before, the WBA title, well, let's talk about the other title, and that is the WBO. So the WBO title, guys, is still being held by Carissa Shields because the WBO doesn't have a heavyweight title for women's boxing. So I hope that they'll vacate this WBO World Light Heavyweight title away from Carissa Shields, because the only time that the WBO has ever been involved in World Light Heavyweight title fights before her fight against LePage was Giovanna Perez, both in 2019, and 2 fights against Lonnie Daniels and Clara Hafner, and they were both wins against Perez. So that's about it. So it's a good thing the WBO is on the line as well. But the only title is the WBC. The WBC is not an official belt for the light heavyweight in women's boxing. So I hope that we'll have Carissa Shields knock that off the list, because I really want to see that. And as for the WBA title, ladies and gentlemen, the WBA light heavyweight title has only been inaugurated in April 17th, 2021 against Hannah Gabriels, when she actually won that title against Argentina. Martha Gayton that year when she fought for the inaugural WBA female light heavyweight title. But you know what's crazy? I forgot to mention that, because in my last episode about the GLOAT podcast because I realized that the WBC female heavyweight title was also on the line. So, yeah. And guys, remember when the commentators actually said this? And you know what, guys? I might as well point this out because as to before, guys, Clarissa Shields won the merchandise for the WBC heavyweight and WBO light heavyweight title. And the commentator stated after her win against LePage, they stated that Clarissa Shields pulled off the same exact thing that Donnie Lalonde when Sugar Ray Leonard defeated him in 1988 when he won the the middleweight title and the light heavyweight title that same fight. Well, guys, 3 years in 2024 before Clarissa Shields did that was similar to how Hannah Gabriels knocked out this Mexican fighter named Martha Gayton by round 2 TKO at 1 minute and 59 seconds in the last second of the second round to not just win the WBC vacant heavyweight title, but also win the inaugural WBA female light heavyweight title, making Hannah Gabriels and Clarissa Shields the only two females to win two weight class titles in one fight. That's how confusing it is when you viewers look at light heavyweight fighters and heavyweights. It's that confusing. Like, yeah, but for some reason, guys, it stated that Hannah Gabriel's title was vacant because she hasn't been in the spotlight since. So she would lose her title for a long time, and the title would not be back to her since. So in July the 20th, 2024, 1 week before the Clarissa Shields and LePage fight, we had a beautiful, tall female woman named Chi Connealy defeated a past prime Angie Paula Racha by round 3 TKO to win the vacant WBA female light heavyweight title. So good for her. And I have been having information thinking that Chi Connealy and Clarissa Shields will be a great fight. I would be really anxious to see that. Hope that fight will come soon. But I really want to see if the WBC title will come alive because I want the WBC light heavyweight title to come in existence because it's crazy that we're already in the first quarter century of the 21st century right now and not all these belts are active. So I hope Clarissa Shields can actually put something here to make more females fight for these titles. And by the way, guys, while we're ahead coming to the end of this episode, let's talk about the other titles. So Franchon Cruz de Zern is still the WBA and WBC champion in the super middleweight, but Savannah Marshall is IBF in the ring. Shadia Sia Green is the WBO title. The thing is, Marshall and de Zern have been out of the boxing square since the end of 2023. They haven't fought once in 2024, so it's ridiculous why they're gone. As for the middleweight title, yeah, Clarissa Shields still has everything, but the WBO has been vacant away from her. Makes sense. Desley Robinson is IBF champion. And for welterweight boxing, we still have Emma Cousin, WBC and WBO champion. While we have O'Shea Jones, a IBF, and Terry Harper, WBA. And I don't want to talk about the interim titles, but it's probably for the best not to. Here's some interesting information. It's great that Michaela Mayer, great that she became WBO champion. She's another champion again in another weight class. Lauren Price is already in the boxing world as WBA ring champion. Natasha Jones, WBC and IBF welterweight champion. Katie Taylor still undisputed in super lightweight. The lightweight division is still interesting because the only 3 titles is Terry Harper because she's still the lightweight WBO champion, question mark. We don't know why. Don't know why. And even though she only won that title last September, while her WBA super welterweight title was back in September 24th, 2022. So we don't know why that's... I don't get it. I don't get it. We have Beatriz Ferrari, still IBF champion, and Caroline Dubois. Yeah, Caroline Dubois. She is mostly. She is actually the younger sister of heavyweight champion Daniel Dubois, and even though she's 24 years old, she's WBC champion, but with only 10 wins and one draw against Jessica Carnara, the same woman that defeated a heavyweight fighter and the friggin' Hyunmi Choi South Korean fighter. They fought last week ago on January the 11th, so yeah, don't think the Dubois family are going to be happy to see that. Yes, and Alicia Baumgartner, super featherweight champion. Guys, let's be honest. Alicia Baumgartner has been in so much problems right now. I feel like, guys, I feel like Alicia Baumgartner, Michaela Mayer, and Hyunmi Choi, and all the other girls in the super featherweight division back from 2017 to 2023 were the biggest bummed out fighters I've ever witnessed in my life, and all of them did not get over. I can make a 1 full hour documentary about this story about the super featherweight and the women's boxing, and it's just ridiculous. It just hates every single bit of it. Great. So anyway, guys, let's get to the featherweight division. As Amanda Serrano is still has every belt in that division except Sky Nicholson's WBC belt that she won last April, and Nina Minky. Never heard of her. She won the IBF title last September. Interesting enough, her record and resume and her losses are not doing good there, so bad there. What about the super bantamweight division? Well, the super bantamweight has some interesting wins. Nazarena Romero from Argentina is the WBA champion. Almendra Yamilev Mercado is the WBC champion. She's been champion since, since 2019, and she's been holding on to that title ever since, even when she lost against Amanda Serrano last 2021. Dang. And she's been defending out that WBC belt not once, not twice. Dang. Wait, that was an international belt. Dang. Oh, wait. She even won the super bantamweight. Interesting. And then won again in November of 2019. Dang, makes her a two-time champion with that belt? That's pretty ridiculous. She's defended it once, twice, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7 straight times. But the competition is not that good. Dang. And of course, guys, don't forget our IBF and WBO champion, Ellie Scottney. She is the one known for defeating Chineka Johnson, the one that was in weigh-in back in 2023, showing her wardrobe that skyrocketed on the internet. But the fight was so unmemorable because the woman with the thong just could not defeat Ellie Scottney, the ugly-faced woman. But yet again, guys, when looking at Ellie Scottney, she is a dangerous fighter that you cannot mess with. But the thing is, she hasn't won a single knockout. Yeah. Chineka Johnson is the WBA champion as of right now, with Dina Thorslund, WBC and WBO champion. Sharetta Metcalf, a woman that's also American, has won the IBF title last October. Not much of a fighter to talk about there, but speaking about fighters that I'm still questioning, the super flyweight division has a woman named Ashley Gonzalez, WBC champion. Don't know much about her, but also Irma Garcia, also from Mexico, has already been pushing out a lot of interesting stuff here, because even though as a fighter from Mexico that's 43 years old, it's going to be interesting that I do want to see her taking on Mizuki Hiruta, a woman that's in Japan, and her last fight just happened a couple days ago against Maribel Ramirez, when it was known that there was a lot of interesting technical decision due to accidental headbutting and such in that fight. But the fight ended with Hiruta winning her 7th fight and her debut in United States of California. So good job for Mizuki. I do want to give credit for her, but I do want to see her take on better competition. As for the flyweight division, Gabrielle Fondora has already still been undisputed since November. So I don't know what Gabriella is going to do in the future, but I want to see more of her as we speak. And the light flyweight division has Jessica Nuri Plata from Mexico. Even though she's 30 years old, she still has a good amount of years left in her. WBA and WBC champion with Evroen um, Bermudez from Argentina. She's IBF and WBO champion since 2023. They've won their belts prospectively in those years and won in 2022. So I am curious to see this. We also have the WBA regular champion Sarah Hagihat Jew from a part Canadian, half Irish woman, 5-0, and she was already the flyweight champion last April the 27th. She retained it last December, so that would be interesting to see if that woman has what it takes. The minimum weight division is still on a hold because ever since Senicia Estrada defended and won undisputed against Yocosta Valle, that's now the WBC champion as we speak, vacated all of her belts ever since the undisputed minimum weight champion. Sarah Borman, that won the WBO title last December, I don't know, guys. I don't like Sarah Borman no more. She already became a bummed out fighter for me ever since she lost against Jessica Neri Plata last December 2023, and that fight was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous fight that she was already a hype job fighter. She wasn't winning out fights. It was I just felt bad that this German woman just couldn't go the distance against the Mexican fighter, and it was ridiculous. But yeah, I just don't see her becoming a more champion ever since. Like she might get beat up easily in the future. And then, guys, the last weight class that does not exist in the men's boxing is the light minimum weight slash junior mini flyweight slash autumn weight division. The autumn weight division, ladies and gentlemen, has been putting out a lot of interesting stuff here. And I'll tell you guys, the autumn weight division has a lot of interesting stuff that I do enjoy. Now, guys, I've been following a lot of Asian females lately, a lot of Japanese females in this division, a lot of them. And girls like Nao Ugawa, spelled Nao space Ugawa, and I've been seeing interesting things about her, having 5 wins straight, and we're 2 days away from her taking on someone named Kaho Munetoshi on January the 21st in Korakuen Hall. So good luck with her winning that 6th professional fight as she can get through it. We even have another fighter that goes by the name of Ayumi Shuzui. She's 3-0, rated number 14 in autumn weight, and nothing much about her resume, but I do think she might have what it takes. And I've been getting a little bit of interesting, a lot of interesting uppercuts here. As we also have Samira Yamanaka. As right now, she's actually the IBF autumn weight champion, as she won it in January the 12th, 2024, but she hasn't fought since. But ever since November the 23rd, we already have one woman that goes by the name of Christina, aka Tina Rupachet, the woman that lost against Senicia Estrada by domination 10-round fight. Well, she already defeated Iri Matsuda in Japan also at that same night, winning all the titles except the IBF title. As of right now, Samira Yamanaka and Tina Rupachet are both standing into the ring, and they are going for undisputed. Now, we don't know when this fight's going to take place, but I am anxious to see this. But whatever happens, let's just hope that whatever does happen in the future, this will create buzz in the world of boxing. Because people even think that female boxing might not be that big, but I do have some interesting suspicions here. Now, who knows if Tina Rupachet or Samira Yamanaka are going to fight for these titles, but whoever wins will bring in undisputed in their country. Tina from Germany, Japan, Samira Yamanaka, Two former countries that were teamed together in World War II are now fighting against each other. Two small females fighting, undisputed, autumn. That right there is going to create a lot of buzz. And I really can't wait to watch this fight because that will be another great fight to talk about in the future as we speak. But so for now, guys, we just have to wait. But guys, we will be waiting for February the 2nd as we speak. Believe me, guys, we still have a lot of interesting title fights coming in February. So we'll keep you viewers to update to see what will happen after this message is. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching this podcast. And see you viewers next time when I review the results of Clarissa Shields versus Daniel Perkins in the next episode. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching this video. And with that being said, the Fox Wolf says out. See ya.